Okay, so now for the 10 things professionals should know. I kind of went about this from an occupational therapy route since both Odie and I, that is our end goal. We both want to become occupational therapists. So the first thing is that the family is the center of their social structure. So they really rely on their family. The family is something that is very important, as I have stated before. It is important to know this because, as occupational therapists, or really any kind of therapist, a family therapist, a counselor, you're not only working with the child, but you're also working with the family. It is important to take them into consideration and to have their involvement in the treatment of a child. And if it's family therapy, well, obviously they're going to be working together as a family, and it is important to know that it's a social structure for them and for their culture. The second thing is that families in the Italian culture provide emotional and financial support for each other. So they have the extended family and their nuclear family together, supporting each other emotionally, financially, and any other kind of support they receive from their family, any family really. The third one, the extended family, is very important for the Italian culture. Their aunts, their uncles, their cousins, everyone is part of that close family. It's important as professionals to know this because we don't want to disrespect their family and, tell them, oh, they can't, but because, they're not immediate family or something, because to them, all of their family is immediate family. So it is important to talk to them, obviously, beforehand, and whether you make it clear that, there's only certain people that can be told certain information. It is important to talk to your families, especially if you're, with the Italian culture. The fourth one is that appearance matters. Italy is very known for their fashion and for the clothes and things of that nature. So they take their appearance very, very serious. They're always groomed, hygiene, very important. So it is important to, as professionals, to upkeep our appearance and when we meet the families. For the Italian culture, they are guided by first impressions. So the first time you meet an Italian family, it is important to know that this first time that they meet you is something that they're gonna guide and base a lot of what they think about you. So it's important to be aware of your professionalism and be aware of how you present yourself to these families. And I believe that it shouldn't only just be for the Italian culture, but for all families, all children, for anyone that you work with. But it is very important for the Italian culture. So the first time that you greet, it usually involves a handshake and direct eye contact. As we have learned in other cultures, direct eye contact can be a sign of disrespect, but in the Italian culture, it is important to know that having a firm handshake and direct eye contact is a sign of respect, and usually is how they greet. But once there is an established relationship, the greeting involves air kisses or like kisses on the cheek. So some Italian families might just, right away jump in and give you a hug and a kiss on the cheek. They don't mean any harm by it. It's just everyone in Italy and their Italian culture says hello this way. So it is important to be aware of that and not be kind of like frightened as a professional that, oh my goodness, this person just kissed me. So the eighth thing that professionals should know is that punctuality is not mandatory for informal meetings in the Italian culture. If you are invited to dinner or you have some kind of informal gathering that you're invited to within the Italian culture, they say 7:30. Really, they mean like 8:30. So as professionals, it is important to make sure that the families understand, hey, you need to be on time because we only have a certain amount of time to work on occupational therapy, family therapy, counseling, whatever the case may be. It's important to tell them that they must be on time, that this is a formal meeting, you know, that it's nothing informal. It's important to be on time in order to receive the full the full care that they are requiring. The ninth thing is that Italians use calling cards and not business cards. So I think this would be important for professionals. You know, maybe if you are networking within Italy, I don't know, you never know, you might want to do some traveling as an OT, a family therapist, who knows. They don't use the little bitty business cards. They use a calling card, which is like a longer sheet of paper that has all of your information. And lastly, they're just loud and outgoing. They are a loud and outgoing culture. They like to speak loudly. They are very eager, and sometimes, you know, as I said, it could come off as rude. It could be a challenge, but it's just something that as professionals we should be aware of and not think that they are being disrespectful and just kind of go along with it. I know for me, if I were ever to work with an Italian family, I'm a very quiet, reserved person, so if, you know, I have an Italian family, they're going to be all outgoing and loud, so it's just important to kind of be aware of all of these things so that we can work with families in the Italian culture as to our best of our ability and to help their children, their families, resolve their issues and help them get through this time that they need help the most.